Huh, so the lid wasn't screwed on. Well, I guess the lid wasn't screwed down all the way. Clean up, aisle 9. And snap that prop shaft right off. Break out the Dremel. Obviously, that's twice. I was touching up the stagecoach and I just tapped it with my elbow. And it's just one of those days. An oaf like me can't turn around without knocking something over. There, now nothing's stacked up, so maybe unless I step on it and keep from knocking stuff over. A rugged little bugger. Actually, no damage, despite the tumble off the table. You know, heavy gauge styrene that they used back in the late 50s. I think this mold first came out in 56 or 7, maybe 58. I had it on the table and it set it on. It was on the stand, so it was a little top heavy, and the only thing that happened when it fell was the stand popped out, but everything was to be intact. I think I'll leave it off the stand for now. But I just saw something I had to touch up on the stagecoach and just gave it the slightest little brush, and whee, over she went. And that's my fault for focusing on one thing. Oh, let me take care of that. You've got to be aware of where all your stuff is at. So I pre-painted the engines, just the inside of the nacelles and everything black. I'm letting that harden. I'll put putty in there, tack glue them on so I can prime and paint the rest of the airplane after I mask off the canopies. And what I've decided to do, I have a paint plan for this, and it was already, well, I've got a few little things I'm going to putty up here. I'm not worried about the seam where the wing comes on because this had folding wings, but I'm going to file down and put a little putty in these some of the seams here and get that sanded down, and then mask off. There's only 6 windows on here. I'm going to mask them off, then shoot the whole thing in primer. Then when that's done, I have to go get some more, just about out. I bought like 6 cans of primer and surfacer at the Nats, and it's all gone. Anyway, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the front of this black. I'm going to paint the tail black. Probably the only things, maybe the number 8 up here, since I don't have decals, but they're engraved. Once that lacquer hardens, I'm going to put the thin Tamiya masking tape or try to etch out at least the tail numbers. I don't think I'll do the one on the nose because I have number decals that I can put on there instead. They may not fit perfect, but the idea is that I'll then trim those out with a brand new X-Acto knife blade and just leave the SN on the tail taped over. I'm going to do a negative relief. Then I'll shoot the whole thing in the color, paint the underside white. I'll also mask off the front of this, and I'm going to paint the wings, leading edges, and tail leading edges black also, because I'm going to mask them off also. Then I'll shoot everything in gray, do the underbelly in white. I think the inside of the engine nacelle should be black also. And then, of course, when I'm all done with the paint, peel it off, and should have the black letters and everything, and it should look okay. But that's the build plan. The front of this will be black. I've seen these belly sonars that retract. This one, you can have it down with the mat out like this, or you can slide the mat in and you can push the belly in and rotate it, and it stays up. Now that's cool because it's going to be on a stand. I'll probably have everything hanging out unless I run out of space. And then once that, I'll find some decals in the stash and put those in. I got to paint the propellers black. They had the red and white bands on front and back of the props. Real quick note is something I think I'd already known, but kind of re-emphasized when I was looking at this. Had that picture of Tom Daniel. He was visiting a neighboring squadron when his picture, and you'll notice the back of the propellers have the red and white safety stripes on the tips. And I thought it was interesting to point out that on multi-engine aircraft, you normally, if the props are not out in front of the cockpit, you normally have the tips painted on front and back. And this is basically a safety thing. You know, it creates that, when the prop's spinning, it creates that solid looking arc so people on the ground or whatever can see the prop and, you know, not walk into it. The Germans used to put those spinners on the nose of their fighters in World War II for the same reason, with that corkscrew or that flashing pattern. It reminded people, hey, the prop is in motion, it's turning. And as I recall, a lot of German planes didn't actually have the tips painted. I think they just did the spinner. That was not a uniform thing, but that was done a lot. But on single engine aircraft, both civilian and military, normally the back of the propeller is completely black and the safety tips are painted only on the front, because they don't want to create that arc that the pilot would see that might obscure his vision. You know, and it makes perfect sense. And that's, you know, it's just a compromise for safety. But, and of course, Machat's law, no two aircraft are painted identically. This varies from airplane to airplane sometimes, but that's kind of generally how it worked. So I will probably be painting the tips. I don't think I'm going to, even though they're rather complex, I don't think I have the red and white stripe. Or might paint them white and find some red decal stripe and put it in the middle, just, you know, a little easier that way. But since one of the shafts broke, I got to drill out and put a new shaft and make one, and that might mean I can't position the prop to, I mean, I can't make the prop rotate, but we'll see. If these are your problems, you're doing all right. So that's where we're at this morning. I was just touching up the stagecoach, and wow, that I just got out of hand in a hurry. But I'm putting the last touches on it. Now I have to make some arrows and stuff to stick in the stagecoach. Okay, I've got those over there next to the now reduced short list models, you know, next to build models, kind of on deck. So stagecoach, stoof, those are hopefully going to be done the next few days. And then might get on the Panther that I have in the office, but that will be at, you know, that's a when I want to do it in the office kind of build. And I still need to bring the Jupiter 2 back out and get the top and bottom fitted. I was just playing with some strip LEDs to see if maybe I want to use those to light the interior, but be honest, with just a couple LEDs I have in there, the white lights are just, when you flip the switch on, it's beautifully illuminated. I think it'd be overkill. So that is what I have going right now. The weather out here has just been perfect. I've got the door open, as you can tell. It's already getting dark outside. So better get in before the monsters come out. But today was, the first few hours, I was like knocking stuff over left and right, which is really, although I can be pretty oafish, those of you who have met me already know that. My girth extends beyond the tables when I walk by. But that being said, it also was the universe telling you, dude, you got too much clutter, time to tidy up. Right now I got a lot of supply boxes down along the floor here spread out, as I showed earlier. The nice thing is I actually see where everything's at instead of them all have stacked up and constantly looking. My nephew Adam, who just got out of the Army, just ETS'd, and came back from Germany, and he acquired a bunch of models while he was over there. So real quick, we will take a look. I've got him here in the TARDIS. Hopefully he's going to come over and build them with me at some point. So let's take a look at what he has real quick. We have this Mary Rose, which you guys, I think, had already seen. That was already here in the shed for a while. Here are the other ones we have. This over here. I have the Matchbox. Whoops, Wellington. I think he got these at some sort of a flea market or something. They're open kit, you know, and the Matchbox kits come in several different colors. And so we've got the Wimpy. Oops, well, the wheels fell out. All right, I have to keep all these in the bag. Then we've got, this already came completely out of the bag. This box is torn completely open, but it's the Airfix Mark V C Spitfire in 1/72 scale. All these are, I think, are 1/72 scale for the most part, so they'll be able to be posed together. And Tiger Moth, to have one DH82A Tiger Moth from Airfix. A nice little RAF airfield. Now we're moving into one more 1/72 scale kit that would go nicely with it. Let's see, it says the World War II RAF Bomber Resupply Set. So let's take a real quick look. Has this got the airplane or just the supplies? Okay, no airplane. This is just the vehicles and everything. But it'll still go great with the other three. So let's just put all these together. The last two are Hobbycraft FB Mark II Sea Fury. And this is a 1/48 scale, as is this Lindbergh Gloucester Gladiator. Now, this Gladiator happens to be the exact same kit, box and everything, the Golden Age biplanes, that I built for my buddy Donovan Henry. And he had it on his shelf for years until he passed. Now it's in the family's collection. So a little sentiment there. It's a good kit, too. It's one of Lindbergh's better efforts. So with that in mind, let's see, what else is going on? So I went out to the Island of Misfit Models, a little shed, to drop some boxes off. And while I was out there, I was thinking about what do I want my next projects to be. So I finally rendered a decision on what my next build projects are going to be. So let's take a look-see. Okay, first we have the space pod from Lost in Space. That's going to be one of the next ones I start. We have both of the Polar Lights 1/32 scale Galileo 7 space shuttles. As I've said, I plan to do one as a shuttle from the movie and another as the props, the outer shell and the inner set as two separate displays. That's actually two of these. So I got those, had Steve Noy get those for me from Ollie's when they were on sale. And then, of course, I'm finally going to get to this 1/35 scale Fubai combat base from ICM, the CH-54 Sikorsky Sky Crane. And this one has the big daisy cutter on it. And I've watched a couple of videos. This is going to be one of those builds that I'm going to take a lot of time with. It'll be done gradually over time. It's not in any way going to be a speed build. Oh, no, 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 you do not get rid of me that easily. Okay, the wings were not exactly straight on the stoof. So I've created this little concoction to hold everything right into place, and now they should harden pretty straight. All right, guys, I've held you up long enough for this evening. Take care of yourselves, and as always, model on.